I don't know how to do a TLDR, so please forgive me if I get it wrong. GF went on girls' trip. A best friend of her called me and told me that she has cheated on me. Her best friend didn't give me proof. I confronted her and she denied it, asking why I didn't trust her. I asked for one of the guy in question's phone number. When she gave it to me, I later found out it was one of her other friend's numbers. When she went to block him, she deleted it when I questioned why the number was different. I, 23M, and my GF, 23F, have been together for 3 years. This past month she hasn't been as active with me, neither wanting to kiss me or touch me. When I asked about it, since we've always been active together, I got told it's because she works with elderly men who flirt and hit on her all the time, so I didn't think anything of it. My GF went on a girls' trip with 2 of her best friends, one of the girls I've talked to a lot while hanging out with my girlfriend. Before my GF returned from her trip, she asked me to not come over and to let her have a day to rest since she has not gotten any sleep on her trip. I did not think anything of that either, so I went and visited my parents instead. She called me, and long story short, she came with me to eat with my family and watch a movie. We then went to her house afterwards. I was about to take a shower when one of her best friends, the one that I've talked to a lot, messaged me and asked if I had any plans. I told her that I was planning to propose in the following weekend, as I would have 3 days off. She then told me that she had something important to talk to me about and called me. The friend informed me that while on their trip, she and the other friend were talking to my GF when GF told them that she had given oral to a coworker while on break and was debating going further with him. GF went on to say that she was supposed to go and meet with him at a show he puts on later in the week, but was debating that too, as she loved me. The friend began to apologize to me profusely, saying that she couldn't go on knowing that I was going to propose while GF was doing this. They'd known for a while that Eve had a ring and was planning to propose. The friend informed me that GF was debating on whether to block him or not. The friend apologized again to me and we ended the call. I left the bathroom shaking badly and looked through my GF phone, to which she got up quickly, took it from me and began doing something on it. I then asked her if we could speak in her room. I asked her about the guy, and another guy that was sending her nude pictures. I've seen messages from him pop up on her phone, but she explained that she needed his number to get her work schedule from him, to which she denied everything and kept asking me who told me this. I would ask to see her phone, but she would ignore it and keeping asking me who told me this. When she did give the phone to me, I saw nothing. I then left the house and drove to the backyard since I was shaking too much to drive on the road. I called the friend back and asked for more details and if she had any proof or anything to show me. She told me that my GF had met one of the guys and had been discussing a book involving BDSM. The friend then told me the name of the book and that my GF and the guy had continued their conversation over text. The friend also told me that when she had asked my GF if I ever checked her phone, my GF told the friend that she was not worried about it, as I only ever get on her phone to send pictures of herself to me, not naughty photos. I just loved having pictures of her to look at when I'm having a bad day. The friend couldn't send me any kind of proof since they do not save their chats on Snapchat. The friend continued to apologize to me while crying. We then ended the call. I was lost on what to do and sat there staring off into the distance, being unable to think. She asked if we could talk and I told her we could. She came out and got into my vehicle. We talked while I drove us around. She explained to me that that conversation had not happened and that she did not do anything. I could tell that she had been crying. I asked if I could have the guy's phone number since she still had it saved, to which she gave it to me. I was then asked why I didn't believe her. As we drove, she reminded me that it was this friend that had told me about this, that had been discussing cheating on her boyfriend while on the trip, and that maybe she had done this to discredit anything my GF would have said to her significant other. When questioned about the book incident, she named off the book specifically and told me that the guy was not involved in that conversation whatsoever. During the drive, I asked her if she could block the guys that I had mentioned to her. She said yes. On a side note, we have had an issue in the past. When we were first talking, she had told me a guy was flirting with her at work. Later on told me that they had hanged out after work. She also told me more or less that it was my fault. She also pointed out his house to me another time while I was driving. Since I had no concrete proof and loved this woman more than anything, I believed her. I got us food, took her home and cuddled with her for a while. While we were laying in bed, she started to block the guys. I noticed that the number she had given me was different from the numbers she had saved for the contact. As she was hitting the delete button, I moved my finger to swipe up. When she noticed what I was doing, she hit delete before I could do anything. When I asked about it, she told me that it must have been a different number and that she had given me the correct one for the guy. I shortly left and drove home. While on the drive, I did a quick reverse search on the numbers she had given me, which came back to a friend of hers. When I first asked her about it, she denied it and sent me what she had as her friend's number. Shortly after that, she admitted that it was her friend's number and that she had given me that one since if I asked the guy what had happened, he would have spread rumors around her work about her. She is now texting me telling me that when she goes back to work she will get the number for me so I can talk to the guy. So, 3 years ago I was diagnosed with a rare form of diffuse large B-cell lymphoma. When I received the diagnosis, my wife and I flew to Houston to get a second opinion at MD Anderson. Needless to say, I was a mess. Physically, emotionally, mentally, a complete mess. While we were there, an old HS friend of my wife's who had lost his wife to cancer a few years earlier started hitting her up in FB. At first, it was all about my recent diagnosis. We had posted in FB and everything that he went through, etc. Normal enough. After a few days, I could tell he was pushing the envelope a bit and making comments about her looks and being low-key flirty. I commented that I wasn't comfortable with it, but she assured me it was nothing and not to worry about it. As the days went on, he became more and more flirty and would make comments like, "Well, I know it's rough for you, but if you ever just want to get away, you know where to find me," and things like that. She started playing into it, which led to her hiding the convos from me. After a couple weeks, they met out a couple of times, and she lied about it to me. I caught her through phone records and confronted her. She admitted to kissing him once, and that was it. She also swore that she would stop talking to him, that she was sorry, and it wouldn't keep on. Needless to say, I was furious. I was going through aggressive chemo, couldn't think straight, was an emotional mess, and now this BS on top of all that. Months go by, I complete treatment, achieve remission, thank God, and decide to travel to see my mom alone. Just before I left, my wife got a new car that had an app which I downloaded. The app showed her location, and while I was gone, I caught her car at his house. I called and she said he wasn't home and was just driving by there out of curiosity. Needless to say, again I was absolutely furious. I forgave her and we are still together, but I don't believe she has told me everything. She continues to deny that she did anything more than one kiss despite all of the evidence. It's been 3 years, but I am stewing over it now and wondering if I made a mistake. I want to know everything that has happened, but I doubt I ever will.